Hello, I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc, with another one of my little videos designed to help you to get through these strange days in which we find ourselves. And these are strange days indeed. I'm sharing about miracles this week because, well, you may be at a point where you need a miracle in your life. I want you to know that miracles manifest today. I want to tell you about a miracle, but before I tell you about it, I wanted to get some corroboration because this is just a crazy story. So I reached out to Mike Payne of the famous Payne Gospel Singers. If you are into gospel singing, Southern gospel particularly, you know the Payne family is a really, really big deal. Well, I reached out to Mike because he was in this meeting years ago. He's now the pastor of the church where the meeting was held. And this was his response. How are you, Pastor Stutzman? I listen to your posts quite often. I remember that, but the details are a little fuzzy. What I do remember is when you called out and prayed for Mike W. I knew Mike because he worked for Ford Motor Company. Mike had a very odd, high-pitched voice. When he stood before you, you told him that he and his wife would have a baby within a year. He laughed. He was getting ready to retire. The doctor said, "We can't have children," he said. He also told him his voice would soon be normal. Sure enough, his voice became normal, low-pitched, and sure enough, shortly after, his wife became pregnant. He changed his retirement plans, and they had a beautiful baby boy. This is a verified miracle I will never forget. I hope you can use that, Mike. Well, I just did use it. Now, here are the details of the miracle he remembered, but he couldn't remember the details, so they were a little bit fuzzy. I gave this woman, same meeting, I gave this woman a word of knowledge about 2 teeth needing to be filled in her jaw, that she had terrible headaches, and that she had problems in her back due to an accident. Well, she knew all that to be true, but she couldn't quite wrap her head around the fact that God would give her a miracle. She went home, looked in the mirror, and sure enough, there's still 2 cavities where the 2 cavities had been. And I don't know, maybe it was cynicism, maybe it's just she was overwhelmed by unbelief, but she called her husband in and said, "Come look and see what the Lord did." Well, he looked in her mouth. He said, "Well, the Lord didn't do anything." She said, yeah, that's what I expected. And then once again, I don't know why she did this, but she called in her 2 school-age daughters. She opened her mouth and said, "Look and see what the Lord did." And they looked in her mouth and said, "Mom, those are the most beautiful, shiny fillings that we have ever seen." And she looked again, and in an instant, God had filled those 2 cavities. She came back to church the next night. She was repenting and testifying, and that's how I know the story. Now, I wanted corroboration because that's a crazy story, but I have a lot of crazy stories over the last 50 plus years because I discovered something a long time ago that you need to know. God has never seen a miracle. The things that you and I think of as miracles are just everyday business with God. There's a corollary to that. There are no big miracles. There are no little miracles in God. It doesn't take God any more to heal a cancer than it does for God to heal a headache. In fact, on Friday, I'll tell you about a couple of people that recently were healed by God of cancer. Just powerful testimonies. And I'm going to share Friday a personal story about a supernatural, it was totally supernatural miracle that I received that lasted about 3.5 hours. And I'll tell you why it only lasted 3.5 hours. It's going to be powerful on Friday. I hope that this has helped you. If it has, I want you to share this video with someone. You know someone that needs a miracle. They need to know that God has never seen a miracle. They need to know that there are no big miracles, there are no little miracles in God, that God is just simply God. And all you have to do is have, well, a word from God. That'll do the trick. And I want you to receive this little video as a word from God for your life. If you need special prayer, you can always contact me at this platform. There are email links. All the emails drop into my personal email. I pray over every prayer need, and I do try to respond as quickly as I can. This Sunday at Aspire Church, the most important prayer that you will ever pray, and it is, in the times in which we find ourselves, the most important prayer that you will ever pray. And it's going to be made even more important because we're going to pray it en masse together. There's power in agreement. Sunday morning, AspireChurch.tv, that's the live stream, AspireChurch.tv, or on Facebook at Aspire Church TV, Aspire Church TV on Facebook, AspireChurch.tv on the live stream, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, the most important prayer that you will ever pray. It is going to be powerful. Join me again Friday. I'll share those other miracle stories with you. I'm believing God for miracles in your life. I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again.